Hello, hello. Good morning, good afternoon from wherever you're joining us from around the world. We appreciate that you're here at the demo deep dive. And if you haven't joined us before on this stream, welcome because we've actually got something really fun for you today. The reason that demo deep dive was created, you might have seen some episodes before covering AI, covering advanced cluster manager. Today, we're going to be learning about virtualization. But it was created because we have a lot of content like blogs and videos out there, but we really wanted to get hands on with the technologies that Red Hat works on, these open source projects that we turn into products like virtualization, like OpenShift, like RHEL, of course. And by joining us here, you get a behind the scenes look at a variety of different experiences, as we call them, to check out all of the latest in open source and in Red Hat tech from, for example, AI to application management, with all these open source projects that you can learn at and actually get a bit of hands-on kind of view and into how it works, from automation and Ansible to what we're going to be taking a look at today, which will be virtualization. So if you want to check out that link that we have on the left-hand side, you can scan that, or check the comment section in order to actually try this out yourself. But without further ado, I have a very special guest who's going to be walking us through the virtualization arcade or interactive experience today. Ricardo Garcia, thank you so much for being here with us. Please feel free to give a quick introduction about who you are, what you love to do, and what we're going to be seeing today.
Sure, thanks, Cedric. I'm really happy to be here with you all today. I'm a technical marketing manager. I'm part of the portfolio marketing and learning team. And what we do is create architecture. So inside that team, we're part of another team called the Red Hat Architecture team. And we create architectures that are published on the Red Hat Architecture Center. And we'll send a link. We'll put it in the chat for those of you who have not seen that page. And also part of these architectures are these interactive experiences that we're working a lot on. And yeah, we'll be talking about virtualization, OpenShift virtualization, and some reasons why to use it.
Thanks. Yeah, I'm very excited to see what is new in the world of virtualization. I know, I mean, if you think about Virt in the past year, I haven't heard as many things as I have maybe the past 10 years of my career, because virtualization has become such a important topic, and I might not have much experience on this, but I'm very glad to be joined by you, as one of the experts that do the Red Hat architectures. And so again, we'll have that link for you below if you're looking to kind of check that out. But yeah, I'm excited to get started with you on this journey as we check out the migrations. I'll kind of let you just take it away. I might have some questions as I'm not as familiar with virtualization, but if you're joining us here, it's a great experience for us all to learn together. And again, thanks for being with us, Ricardo.
Thank you, Cedric. Yeah, it's true that we've been hearing about virtualization a lot again these days after so many years that it has become standard and that most companies use virtualization. But for reasons that are well known to everyone, a many companies are looking at moving their virtual machines to a different platform. So stop using legacy virtualization technologies and start embracing all the technologies. One of the main reasons are the increment in the cost of one of the main providers, and also because companies want to modernize their workloads, so they start using containerized applications or cloud native applications. And it's true that they still need virtual machines for many of their applications, but it would be much better, instead of having different platforms for virtual machines and cloud native applications, to have it all on the same platform. That will reduce cost and will reduce the skill set that the administrators might need to have. So that's where Red Hat OpenShift with Red Hat OpenShift Virtualization comes into play. And I thought it would be a very good idea to show this short interactive experience about one of the main tasks that any virtual machine administrator needs to do, which is a live migration of VMs, of virtual machines. So let me just start walking you all through it. So reasons for migrating VMs or for doing live migration of VMs. So it can be the main three reasons are for load balancing. So for example, when they, in one of the data centers where the virtual machines reside, there's a lot of traffic, there's a lot of resource utilization. So administrators might need to move some of the virtual machines to other data center that has more resources so that the applications can keep servicing without interruption, without bottlenecks. Then also for energy saving. So if we have some hosts that are consuming less energy, we might want to move some of the virtual machines that run intensive workloads to this other hosts or these other data centers. And then if we need to do a geographic migration for any reason, like a disaster or for some other constraints, administrators will need to do that and do live migration while keeping the applications accessible and not disrupting the service. So yeah, let's go to
Nice.
OpenShift. This is the Red Hat OpenShift console, and OpenShift virtualization comes as an operator that can be installed here. So when you install the operator, you will have this type of, or this section of the menu, the virtualization, right? If you go to virtual machines, we can see the virtual machines that we have in our cluster. We have one for a database and two more running web applications. We're going to migrate just the database because it's using a lot of resources. So we just go for it. And well, it's as easy as going to this the three dot menu here.
And Ricardo, sorry to interrupt,
No,
but so what's happening here? Because I'm a developer and I use OpenShift to deploy my containers, but you said because of that operator, the virtualization operator, that we now have kind of platform to run these VMs, and now we're going and taking that VM, and what's happening here?
Mhm. Yeah, so you have your virtual machines alongside containers. So everything is on OpenShift. The technology that this is using is KubeVirt, which is a virtualization technology that has been around for many years. And you can treat your virtual machines just as cloud native applications or be citizens, if you will, first class citizens of OpenShift as well. So you will have everything on your OpenShift platform. Of course, you will have different namespaces for your virtual machines so that you're not messing around. You keep your virtual machine based applications unrelated or not accessible from other namespaces and other applications that don't need to access them. But for example, you have a front end on a container on a cloud native application, and you have a database on a virtual machine, you can create your network policies so that they can talk to each other, and yeah, and keep the security like that.
That's awesome. Sweet. Thank you.
No worries. So yeah, as I would say, yes, you have your list of virtual machines. You want to migrate one of them. You go here, click on migrate, and yeah, and it's going to do it. You can see here that it's being migrated. Normally, it's a very quick process, and once it's migrated, you can see that it's running. So let's go. Well, what you have here, the console, you can access it, do any kind of operations that you need to do with it. And if we go back here, I didn't stop enough in the previous step, but it was running on a number. The control plane was a node ending in 3. Now the node is one ending in 2. So it's been moved and it's accessible. As I said, it's very quick. So during that time, the application is still accessible and we don't have any downtime. And it's as easy as that. As I said, this is one of the most one of the most common tasks that a VM administrator might need to do.
Yeah, I was about to say, so there's no downtime when it's moving
Yeah,
between the different machine nodes, really.
yeah, that's very easy. I mean, for administrators that are used to all the legacy virtualization technologies, this is really similar. As you've seen, it's just click on the 3 dots, choose migrate, and then that's pretty much it.
Nice.
Right. So this is, as I said, one of the tasks. But you can do, of course, from that console, you can do start and stop virtual machines. You can take snapshots. You can trigger backups, and yeah, you can do most of the most regular tasks that you would do on a different legacy virtualization technology.
Awesome. And if you go back to that control screen where you were migrating
Yeah.
the database, I'm wondering, so what are common examples of workloads or industries that would typically need to do this virtualization management? What are common use cases?
Well, pretty much any industry, because as I mentioned at the beginning, there are still most or many companies are using applications and virtual machines, normally it tends to be more backend. So, for example, databases and things that are more, even if you're writing and reading data from them, but it's something that is more or less static. Once you deploy it, it's not going to change much other than the data that is going to be receiving. So yeah, I mean, most companies do still need virtual machines.
Gotcha. Nice, nice. And so I think part of the developer sandbox also includes a way to get started with virtualization. Have you? I'm wondering if you've tried that before, because I know
Mhm.
a lot of events we go to, people say, "Hey, I want to, deploy my containers on OpenShift. I want to try all these enterprise features, but I just want a way to get started, kind of like
Right.
a trial experience." So how does someone, if they haven't already worked with OpenShift virtualization, where's the first place that they can start?
Mhm. Yeah, that could be a very good place to start, because you can on Developer Sandbox you can definitely try the virtual machines and install your operator, the OpenShift virtualization operator, and just start creating machines. So it's as easy as that menu that we've seen at the beginning. Let me just go back to it. On the left hand side, when you open virtualization, you can and you go to virtual machines. You have here templates. If you can see here, right under virtual machines,
Mhm.
you have quite a lot of templates that are already delivered with OpenShift virtualization, with the main versions of operating systems that you might want to deploy on your virtual machine. You can, of course, upload your own template, upload your uh, operating system as customized as you want, and it would be as easy as that. So yeah, on Developer Sandbox, you have already few templates that you can start playing with. If you want to RHEL, a Fedora, even a Windows virtual machine, you will have it there, and you can just spin it up and start playing and developing your applications or deploying your applications on top of it.
Awesome. Awesome. We'll throw that link here in the chat so people can try it out. And this is a 30-day in no strings attached way to just get started
Yeah,
with virtualization and also just OpenShift in general. So highly recommend people try it out. And yeah, so two more things as we're starting to close up on today's demo deep dive. Seems like we've got a question from the field. Let me go over here. And Ricardo, I will read it out to you. So
cool.
James Harmison asks, oh, hello, James. Do normal cluster maintenance tasks like rolling a machine config pool during an update result in a live migration? Or is it only when you ask it to do so specifically?
It will be just when you ask or you do it through the console. Yeah, normally it won't do the live migration. It won't trigger it.
Gotcha.
You can
Awesome.
also define policies if you want to uh, leave a virtual machine running always on a node. So you can do, it's like any other workload on OpenShift that you can say, okay, you can put taints on the nodes and say never go to this node or always stick to the node. So that would be controlled as any other workload on OpenShift.
Awesome. Great to know. And as we're kind of, again, as I mentioned, we're closing up here, I want to provide some resources for folks who might want to go a little further and maybe you're on a platform like VMware. So, Rohan, I've got my screen shared back at the interactive experiences pages, which is, again, interact.redhat.com. And Ricardo, I'm not too familiar with some of these virtualization demos, but I heard that there's some about specifically, for example, VMware.
Yes.
Feel free to let us know and the viewers where they can continue after here.
Yeah, I would definitely go to the migrate VMs from VMware to Red Hat OpenShift because it's a bit longer. Uh, as all the interactive experiences, users can view them at their pace, and it includes more stuff like in terms of monitoring. Once you have migrated virtual machines onto OpenShift virtualization, to see all the metrics and see how you can do more stuff. So that's a more complete one. But for the sake of time, we thought it would be better to start just with this one. Another thing that might be useful to our listeners is there's a subscription for OpenShift that it's the virtual engine. So for those users that might not be ready yet to use containers and to use the full OpenShift and just want to try out how their virtual machines would be working on OpenShift, they can go for this reduced, if you will, subscription. Yeah, is that one.
Very
Thank you,
cool.
Cedric, for pulling it up.
Awesome. So this is more like a minimal type of offering if
Yes,
you
indeed.
just need the bare bones.
Mhm.
Cool.
Yes.
Well, I think we've gotten to the point where we know what is virtualization, why migrate, and then how to do so using OpenShift virtualization, and some good resources like the developer Sandbox to continue next, as well as some more of these experiences on interact.redhat.com if you would like to continue down this journey. And I want to give a big thank you to you, Ricardo, for joining us today. It's a pleasure to have you here and bringing your expertise to the topic, and letting the viewers know. So, anything else you'd like to close out with?
No, I'll just put or if we can provide it after the session, the link to the Red Hat Architecture Center so that people can see more of these interactive experiences that might be more step-by-step operations and solutions, so more technical because they're interested.
Awesome. Awesome. Excited to
But
see
no,
that.
thank you very
And
much for having me here, Cedric, and it was a pleasure talking to you.
thanks for joining us.
Everyone.
And if you'd like to see the next demo deep dive, well, join us in 2 weeks from now. We'll have some details on the page, so make sure you're subscribed to the Red Hat YouTube channel to watch it live or watch it afterwards. So we hope to see you in 2 weeks for the next episode. Till then, big appreciation to Ricardo, to Rohan behind the scenes, and we'll see you next time. So have a great weekend. Cheers, guys.